Chapter 31 Heritage Trial. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Of course, Dong Lei didn't know this news. At this moment, Dong Lei has arrived in the palace, in a wide hall. In this hall, there is a statue with his feet squatting on a chair. It does look a bit strange. Wearing shiny armor, with a tight hoop on his head, holding the golden hoop in his hand, with cloud shoes on his feet, flashing golden eyes, but his hair is a bit messy, monkey face. Yes, this is the Sun Wukong spirit. Today, Dong Lei came here to find the Sun Wukong spirit. In order to get the inheritance of the Sun Wukong spirit, in the chaos theory, there are not many spirit inheritances. Each inheritance has very good characteristics. Once it is obtained by game players and NCPs, it will no longer exist, and in this palace in front of him, the Sun Wukong spirit has not been obtained by him. Now, Dong Lei came here to get the inheritance of the Sun Wukong spirit, for his own strength and self-protection. He can climb a lot more. Sun Wukong has always been one of the gods he has identified and recognized. In the introduction of the game Chaos, Sun Wukong is a symbol of fearlessness and bravery. The game Chaos also has a short introduction video of Sun Wukong. Many game players are excited after watching it. That is, in order to become a god, Sun Wukong summoned 3 partners along the way. After passing the test of 9,981 levels, he was often pitted by these 3 partners, especially the man wearing a god-level cassock, lazy and gluttonous. Talkative. Finally, they all became one of the gods. When Dong Lei put his hands together and worshipped Sun Wukong, a system voice came out beside Dong Lei's ears. System prompt: do you want to start the Sun Wukong spirit inheritance experience? Sure. Dong Lei opened his eyes slowly and said without hesitation. In an instant, Dong Lei's body fell with scattered light and disappeared. System prompt: you have come to the Sun Wukong spirit inheritance trial field. Only by passing the Sun Wukong spirit inheritance trial field can you get the Sun Wukong spirit inheritance. System prompt: if you fail the current trial, you will never get the Sun Wukong spirit inheritance. And your level will return to LV1 and return to the novice village. Please pay attention. System prompt: there are 3 stages in total in the trial, and the goal of each stage is to survive for 10 minutes. Players also need to kill a lot of monsters. Only when they get the SSS-level score can they successfully enter the next stage. Otherwise, it will be a failure judgment. Dong Lei was stunned for a moment after hearing this, and cursed. Damn! Why is everything SSS level? Curse. The inheritance has to be received. Without further ado, Dong Lei's entire body disappeared as soon as he finished speaking. When Dong Lei opened his eyes, there were countless monsters in front of him, running towards him quickly. These monsters, wearing gorgeous armor, holding various weapons in their hands, are all in the form of humans. There are 2 short horns on their heads, roaring and screaming, running towards Dong Lei quickly. Dong Lei first saw the attribute information of these monsters through the interface. Gatekeeper monster, gold level 29. Level, gold level. HP, 6000/6000. Attack, 4556-6523. Defense, 2021. Skills, glance blade, hook eye blade, piercing. Monster description: a gold level monster belonging to the trial, with short horns on its head, often roaring. Only 6000 HP. Not enough. Dong Lei smiled. This HP is too low. Then, Dong Lei raised the Hex Devil gun and shot the light in. Boom. 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 55W, 57W, 60W, 80W. With the blessing of the Gaia suit, Dong Lei's damage continued to rise. There is also a 400% cooldown, and he keeps sending out normal attacks. As you can imagine, these gatekeeper monsters couldn't get close to Dong Lei at all, and were killed on the spot. And beside Dong Lei's ears, the voice of the system kept coming. You killed gatekeeper monster, gold level, and gained 1300 experience points and 120 gold coins. Congratulations, triggering a random 100-fold increase. You gain 22 W experience points and 1.8 W gold coins. You killed. Due to the level limit, the experience pool is constantly injected into the experience. Dong Lei thought about it, and then summoned his 2 9-star Thunder and Flame Tigers. In an instant, under Dong Lei's killing, the 9-star Thunder and Flame Tiger also began to upgrade. 9 stars represent strength and can also be upgraded. Congratulations, your Mount 1 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger has been upgraded to LV2. Congratulations, your Mount 2 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger has been upgraded to LV2. Congratulations, your Mount 1 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger has been upgraded to LV3. Congratulations, your Mount 2 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger has been upgraded to LV3. Congratulations, your Mount 1 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger has been upgraded. Dong Lei now has no pressure to upgrade, so he might as well share some with his 2 9-star Thunder Flame Tigers. The upgrade of the 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger also requires a lot of experience. After reaching level 9, the experience requirement is also very terrifying. Generally speaking, the experience of the 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger is 20 times that of the 1-star Thunder Flame Tiger. These 2 9-star Thunder Flame Tigers did not take action. The main reason is that Dong Lei's attacks are too slow. Each of his attacks is equivalent to 1 attack. Killing these gatekeepers, gold level, is too easy. Just let the 2 9-star Thunder Flame Tigers stand on both sides of Dong Lei. Just don't block his ordinary magic attacks and skill releases. These 2 9-star Thunder Flame Tigers can only roar wildly at the gatekeepers, gold level. Under Dong Lei's random 100-fold amplification, the 2 9-star Thunder and Flame Tigers reached level 9 in a short period of time. Under Dong Lei's continued attack, the 2 9-star Thunder and Flame Tigers continue to climb their levels. After finally reaching level 29, the 2 9-star Thunder and Flame Tigers also reached the level bottleneck. Dong Lei needed to improve his level to break through the level limit of the mount. In just over 10 minutes, the 2 9-star Thunder and Flame Tigers reached level 29, and the 10 minutes were up. In an instant, the entire space became empty, leaving only Dong Lei and the 2 9-star Thunder and Flame Tigers. At this time, a system voice came from my ear. Congratulations to the player, you have successfully completed the first stage. Your score is SSS-level. You get the reward, Saint-level fragment, *1. You triggered the random 100-fold amplification and got Saint-level fragment, *568. When Dong Lei found out that the reward he got was a Saint-level fragment, his face was happy. This kind of Saint-level fragment is very rare and precious. Generally speaking, only some high-level subgames have a few Saint-level fragments, or in other words, they can only be found by opening some Saint-level treasure chests. As the name suggests, Saint-level fragments can be used to create Saint-level equipment. Chapter 32. After the gatekeeper demon, the guard dog also came. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This material is extremely precious, and everyone is fighting for it in the later stages of the game. Each Saint-level fragment is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. This wave of people making Dong Lei hundreds of billions of dollars. Dong Lei looked at the Saint-level fragments in his package. Saint-level fragments. Level, unknown, effect, unknown, related introduction. With Saint-level fragments, it seems that there is something extremely terrifying hidden inside. Damn, I just saw it. After Dong Lei finished reading this Saint-level fragment, he shook his head and cursed. The information of Saint-level fragments cannot be detected, even if they contain powerful energy. It can only be used in the later stages, and now it is just a waste of time. After Dong Lei closed his package interface, a voice came from his ear. System prompt: your second stage trial requires you to kill 10,000 roaring sky demon dogs, epic level, which needs to be completed in 10 minutes, and the trial score is SSS level. You can advance to the third stage only after you succeed in the trial, otherwise the trial will be considered a failure, and your level will return to level 1 and return to the novice village. The second stage trial is about to begin. 10, 9, 8, 7. After Dong Lei heard the system voice, he cursed several times again. 10,000 dogs in 10 minutes, you are really amazing. As soon as the voice finished, the whole space was filled with a burst of vibration. A large number of dog barking sounds appeared. In an instant, tens of thousands of roaring sky demon dogs rushed towards Dong Lei. Dong Lei checked the attribute information of these Roaring Sky Demon Dogs through his interface. Roaring Sky Demon Dog, Epic Level, Level 39. Level, Epic Level.HP. 13500/13500. Attack, 11325, 12354. Defense, 6000. Skills, Dog Barking Naruto, Ultimate Invasion, Barking of the Dead, Monster Introduction, a monster from the underworld, whose barking sound resounded throughout the world. The Roaring Sky Demon Dog is several times more powerful than the Gatekeeper monster. Single. The level of the single is several levels different. The gold level has reached the epic level. If other game players come to challenge this kind of trial, they will definitely have to go back to the novice village and level up again. However, they have Dong Lei's strategy, so it should be easy to reach level 10. Don't talk about SSS level trial scores, let alone C-level trial scores. It's good enough to survive. This is why gods are so difficult to obtain. It is also the reason why many players dare not take this risk in the later stages when their levels are higher. However, for Dong Lei, these trials are just a piece of cake. I saw that his 2 legendary Star Thunder Flame Tigers were roaring wildly. This made these Sky Roaring Demon Dogs, epic level, a little timid. The speed of rushing towards Dong Lei was actually slowed down, although the Star Thunder Flame Tiger is level 29. And the Sky Roaring Demon Dog, epic level, has reached level 39, however, the level difference is still very critical. This is equivalent to the suppression of bloodline. However, as the number of Sky Roaring Demon Dogs increases, the Sky Roaring Demon Dogs still attack Dong Lei. Humph. The Gatekeeper Demon at the beginning, now the Guard Dog is here. Dong Lei snorted coldly, and while speaking, he used the Hex Devil Gun to shoot out a large amount of light. These lights continued to bombard the Roaring Sky Demon Dog, and, under the superposition of Gaia's costume, the damage continued to rise. 45W, 47W, 50W, 51W. However, after each Roaring Sky Demon Dog was attacked, the blood tank level was immediately dry. The effect of the costume cannot be reflected too much, because no Roaring Sky Demon Dog can withstand this ordinary magic attack. During the crazy bombardment of the Hex Devil Gun, Dong Lei also kept using skills, especially, LV2 Spell Surge, which released a terrifying magic ball on the head of the Roaring Sky Demon Dog, bouncing crazily. The LV2 spell surged from a maximum of 35 bounces to a maximum of 186 bounces. Each bounce reduced the magic resistance from 130% to 280%. The result is imaginable, the bouncing horror ball. When Dong Lei's skills were released, it bounced quickly to the back, and each time a Roaring Sky Demon Dog lay dead on the ground, it also accelerated Dong Lei's killing speed. Let his own killing speed of Roaring Sky Demon Dogs, faster and faster. Finally, in 10 minutes, Dong Lei had killed 10,000 Roaring Sky Demon Dogs. A system voice sounded from Dong Lei's ears. Congratulations to the player, you have completed the second stage of the trial, killing 10,000 Roaring Sky Demon Dogs in 10 minutes, and the current trial score is SSS level. You get the reward, Frost Emperor's Shattering Will. You trigger a random 100-fold amplification and get Frost Emperor's Shattering Will. When Dong Lei heard this system voice, he breathed a sigh of relief. The reason why he came to this trial was not to obtain the Frost Emperor's Broken Edict. However, he had seen the terrifying power of this Frost Emperor's Broken Edict. Of course, it is still in a broken state. If you want to repair this Frost Emperor's Edict, you still need to work hard. Dong Lei opened the content information of this Frost Emperor's Broken Edict. Frost Emperor's Broken Edict. Level, 1. Level. Efficacy of Edict, 0.1. Increase 800 good fortune points, 2. Consume 1 point of good fortune points and force the alien beast/monster/NPC/player to drop by 1 level. Cooling time 12 hours, 3. You can consume 1 point of good fortune to force a bad luck buff on the beasts/monsters/NPCs/players, which lasts for 1 hour. Cooling time is 12 hours. The first section of the Frost Emperor's Broken Will requires repairing. Kill 2000 beasts/monsters above the gold level, 0 out of 2000. This Frost Emperor's Broken Will is already very scary. As long as you consume a little good fortune, you can force the beasts/monsters/NPCs/players to drop by 1 level, and You can also force the beasts/monsters/NPCs/players to have a bad luck buff, which lasts for 1 hour. These two effects are very scary. The later the level, the more difficult it is to upgrade. Each level, just forcibly lowering one level may not make any difference, but it will lower you by 1 level in half a day, and after a few days, you will be scared. Now, the Frost Emperor's broken will is still broken. If it is fully repaired, the power will be very terrifying. Moreover, in Dong Lei's opinion, it is not easy to kill 10,000 roaring sky demon dogs in the second stage of the trial. If he does not have the skills to stack group damage, it will be a bit difficult to attack. System prompt: your third stage of the trial, kill 4,000 Erlang demon disciples, legendary level, 10 minutes to complete. The trial score is SSS level. Other scores and less than 10 minutes to complete, the trial is considered a failure. Your level will return to LV1, and return to the novice village. The third stage of the trial is about to begin. 10, 9, 8, 7. Chapter 33 Erlang Demon Disciple, Legendary Level. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Dong Lei heard this voice, he immediately closed the information interface where he was viewing the Frost Emperor's broken purpose. This third stage is the last trial. It takes 10 minutes to kill 4,000 Erlang demon disciples, legendary level. That's it. Compared with the previous 10,000 head, in Dong Lei's opinion, it is still relatively easy. However, from the perspective of other players, the monster's level and strength have increased. It's not that easy to deal with. Erlang demon disciple, legendary level 4,000. But while Dong Lei was still mumbling to himself, the whole space shook again. After Yuan killed 10,000 roaring sky demonic dogs, the roaring sky demonic dogs also disappeared. Now, with the space shaking violently, Erlang disciples emerged from the void one by one. Each Erlang demon disciple holds a 3-pointed, 2-edged sword, and has an extra demon eye on his forehead. Dong Lei checked the attribute information of these Erlang disciples through his own interface. Erlang demon disciple, legendary level 39. Level, legendary.hp, 255000/255000. Attack, 22,000-26500. Defense, 20,000. Skills, evil-eyed demon, 3-dimensional true fire, bloodthirsty massacre. Introduction to the monster. It is the disciple of Erlang Demon Emperor. It is extremely terrifying and has the demeanor of Erlang Demon Emperor. These Erlang Demon disciples, carrying 3-pointed and double-edged knives, rushed towards Dong Lei at extremely fast speeds. Dong Lei directly took back his 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger and entered Mount 1, and Mount 2. I don't want the 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger to be affected in any way, at this time. Dong Lei touched his evil mask on one hand and held the Hex Devil gun on the other, shooting out a strong light. Crazily, secondary attack booster, king level, allows Dong Lei to use weapons on both sides. Boom. 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 -35W, -36W, -34W, -39W. Erlang, who was extremely powerful, was instantly killed. There were still some Erlang disciple skills that attacked Dong Lei, but they were neither painful nor itchy. With the superposition of Dong Lei's various equipment, costumes, and suit effects, the defense continues to rise. -200, -150. -100. In the end, Erlang Yaotu's attack did no harm. The main reason is that the Erlang demon disciples are all of the same type. After the superimposed defense against damage, there is no damage at all. With the additional bonus of Hex Devil gun, there is a 100% probability that attacking the enemy will increase life steal by 200%, and the duration is permanent. The powerful Erlang demon disciple was attacked by the Hex Devil spear, which restored Dong Lei's health to full health. At this time, another voice came from the system and reached Dong Lei's ears. Congratulations, the first stage of the Frost Emperor's broken purpose has been met. The first fragment of the Frost Emperor's broken will has been repaired. Later, Dong Lei glanced at the Frost Emperor's broken decree information update while attacking. Frost Emperor's broken order, level 10. Level. Purpose effect, 0.1. Plus 1000 luck value. 0.2. 2. You can consume 1 point of luck value to forcefully attack alien beasts/monsters/NPCs/players, all of which will be reduced by 1 level. Cooling time 10 hours, free. You can consume 1 point of good luck to force a bad luck buff on alien beasts/monsters/NPCs/players, which lasts for 1 hour, cooling time is 10 hours. Can introduce. It seems that the damaged purpose of the Frost Emperor is being repaired bit by bit. In this first phase of repair, 1,000 points of luck have been added and the cooling time has been reduced by 2 hours. Overall, it is getting stronger. As a result, within 5 minutes, all 4,000 Erlang Yao disciples were killed by Donglei's various attacks and skills. Moreover, the second paragraph of the Frost Emperor's destruction purpose has just been completed. Then, systematic voices came from Donglei's ears. Window_tabula equals window_tabula_tabula.push mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target_type, mix. Chapter 34 The 7 Killing Matters. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Congratulations, the second stage of the Frost Emperor's shattering purpose requires killing 2,000 diamond-level beasts/monsters, 2000/2000, completed. This time, the purpose is to reduce 2 hours and increase 200 good fortune points, and the Frost Emperor's shattering purpose has reached level 20. The third stage is to kill 4,000 master-level beasts/monsters, however, at this moment, Donglei has killed all 4,000 legendary Erlang demon disciples. World announcement, player, Shifeng, successfully completed the Sun Wukong Divine Trial and became the Sun Wukong Divine Inheritance. Sun Wukong Divine Inheritance: the Emperor's Body, Copper Head and Iron Arms, Saint-level Shattered Body, *8. Congratulations, you have triggered a random 100-fold increase, you have obtained the Saint's Essence, Vitra Body, Saint-level Fragment, *895. System prompt: since you have inherited the Saint's Essence, Vitra Body, inherited by Sun Wukong, the upgrade experience needs to be increased tenfold in the future. That when the game players saw the world announcement, it was a blast, and the chat channel completely exploded. The entire chat channel was rolling madly again, and the chat barrage was almost invisible. It's still the great god, killing peak. It's come to this point. You are worthy of being my little sister's big brother. When will you set off to take me to complete the SSS mission? Where can I get this trial of the gods? I want one. What level are you? This is not what you imagined. The novice village has not even come out yet, right? Big brother, Shifeng. Nyobi. You are your brother. Saint-level fragments, what is this? Do you eat it? Will you level up after eating it? The previous barrage, are you a fool? Saint-level fragments are obviously used for. I don't understand. By the way, what is the Emperor's body? It must feel very perverted. Let the Emperor touch your body. He. Cultivating this kind of body must be a posture that cannot be described. System prompt: this player is muted for 24 hours. Have you arrived at the gathering point? There are so many people here. There are so many people. Yes, there are so many troops here. It seems that we are going to follow Big Brother, Shifeng, to do big things. SSS the little brother is here for the level quest. At this moment, terrifying rays of light were injected into Donglei's body. Donglei's body seemed to be wrapped in terrifying flames. It was as if Donglei had entered an alchemy furnace, burning madly. It was as if he was trying to make Donglei into an elixir. Donglei closed his eyes, endured the extremely painful real burning, and clenched his hands. Even in the game, the horrible pain was no different from the real world, and his equipment could not withstand these real attacks. At this time, Donglei's various attributes continued to rise, reaching an extremely terrifying level. After a while, Donglei recovered from the pain. When Donglei opened his eyes, the light in his pupils was particularly dazzling and flashed by. Donglei exhaled a breath, and when he exhaled, it seemed as if he saw a little bit of flame spraying out. Then, Dong Lei opened his personal information interface. At this time, a physical torso column appeared on the interface. Generally speaking, at least after reaching the Emperor's strength, you can have this material such as the Saint's Fragment. To randomly draw your own physical torso column means that you need to reach the Emperor's strength at least to have the physical torso column. Moreover, the physical torso of each level is different and different. Another point is that the physical torso of the Saint is unique. As long as you have it, no one else can have it. Therefore, those who can have the physical torso of the Saint are very invincible. Even the former Dong Lei, he has never had it. Dong Lei opened this physical torso column and checked the information of his Vajra body. Vajra body. Point 1. After each level is upgraded, 10 attribute points are added. 2. After being attacked by ordinary attacks, 95% of the damage is automatically reduced. 3. When being attacked by imprisonment/coma/poison gas/etc., all damage and control are automatically exempted. Function description: the body forged by Samadhi is unscathed by knife and axe, lightning and burning, poison and wine. When Dong Lei saw such a Vajra body, his face showed a real smile. I think this Vajra body is really abnormal. Generally speaking, upgrading one level is 10 free attribute points, and now there are 10 more free attributes. In this way, the attribute point bonus for each subsequent level will be different from that of other game players. However, when upgrading each level, you need 10 times more experience than other players. However, under the random 100-fold increase, Dong Lei still does not seem to be under too much pressure. After all, this is a random 100 times, it is only 10 times. Also, the most terrifying thing is the next two bonus effects. After receiving a normal attack, automatically reduce 95% of the damage. In this case, Dong Lei's own defense plus the equipment's defense will be invincible. I'm afraid any ordinary attack will not hurt Dong Lei. Dong Lei can take ordinary attacks from others, and under the effect of Gaia costume, his defense is constantly rising, and the last one is very terrifying. When attacked by imprisonment/coma/poison gas/etc., all damage and control are automatically exempted. For traditional mages like him, the most fearful thing is to be controlled. After all, traditional mages are fragile. There is still a little resistance to control skills. After a round, many traditional mages are controlled to death, especially in the later battles. Traditional mages do not have corresponding warriors, tanks and other shields. After being controlled by various strong men, they will have great trouble. Now, with this kind of King Kong body, Dong Lei is not afraid at all. Having completed the inheritance of Sun Wukong's spirit, Dong Lei did not stay any longer. On the spot, Dong Lei chose to leave the trial site. Accompanied by the falling light, it fell on Dong Lei's body, making Dong Lei disappear from the original place and return to the previous hall. When Dong Lei just arrived at the hall, a group of figures approached him. "Humph! I've been waiting for you for a long time. How dare you kill brother? Stinky boy, do you think you are awesome with a mask? Hand over everything you got to me. Weird. Finally waited for you. You killed brother, blinded Quanzhen. Hurry up and hand over the things you got to us, and we will leave you with a whole body." Dong Lei did not expect that a group of people would approach him as soon as he arrived at the hall, and the situation of encirclement did not allow him to escape. These 6 people are all from the evil camp of the Shamat 7 monsters. Updated, please give me your recommendation votes and monthly votes. Chapter 35. Do you think I will die? You are listening at novelfull.audio. One of the monsters had already been killed by Dong Lei. Moreover, each person's hairstyle is unique, which is also a symbol of their evil camp. Dong Lei inspected these 6 people and found that they were all very good indeed. Like Quanzhen, the former black light blind man, he has almost the same strength. These people are old. Quanzhen, master level, blinded by black light, dead, long red hair, his hair has grown to his mouth, so he needs to squint to see people. He was ridiculed and made blind. The second child, stealing Zhu Tsong, master level, blue afro, theft wizard, even stealing underwear. The third child, explosive personality Korean treasure, master level, yellow fluffy and radiant, he has a very hot temper. When he sees someone, he turns around and stabs you. Fourth child, cunning Nancy ninja, master level, green hair in the shape of a hat, legend has it that she is so cunning that her face turns green from time to time. Lao Wu, Lao Zhang next door, master level, blue plain head, seems to have an inexplicable relationship with Nancy, my wife. The sixth child, courageous and fearful of troubles, master level, green hat head, but when you encounter a problem, it is respectful to leave first. Old, mother-in-law Han Xiaoying, master level, white shawl, every time I speak, I miss it. Their weapons are, iron and copper staff, iron bone fan, golden snake soft whip, pure steel shoulder pole, corpse whip knife, blonde family gun, and spicy woman sword. After all, this is the inheritance palace of the gods, where all powerful and powerful people are entrenched. The sneaky Zhu Tsong summoned the other 5 monsters to come over and take revenge for brother who blinded Kuzhini. By the way, I also want to take away Dong Lei's things. Only dead people can get it easily. From this inheritance palace, it is not so easy to take things with you. You must be strong before you can leave this palace, otherwise, even my life will have to stay here. Of course Dong Lei understands this, but he doesn't want to leave his life here. On the contrary, it is these 6 monsters that kill Matt. Everyone is going to die here. You want to die, right? Dong Lei flashed a cold light, raised the corner of his mouth and said. Kill. Revenge for brother. The second child, Zhu Tsong, took the lead and shouted loudly, holding the iron bone fan. He rushed towards Dong Lei. Kill. The other 5 monsters that killed Matt were also shouting and screaming, and they were killing Dong Lei. Many powerful people around also came closer to watch the show or join in at any time. Dong Lei held the Hex Devil gun in one hand and stroked the evil mask with the other. 8 rays of light appeared and shot out from around him. After all, they were surrounded. Dong Lei fired randomly and could kill these 6 monsters with his eyes closed. When the 6 Shamat monsters saw this, their expressions changed, and they quickly tried to avoid it, but still, 3 monsters named Killer Matt were hit by the light. Boom! 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 -36W, -34W, -38W. Mother-in-law Han Xiaoying, the neighbor next door Zhang Zhangasheng, and the cunning Nancy Ning were all killed on the spot. Dong Lei heard the system sound next to his ears. You killed the evil force, mother-in-law Han Xiaoying, division level, and you gained 280,000 experience points and 2,313 military industry points. You triggered a random 100-fold increase and gained 31 million experience points and 32 million military value. System prompt: due to your level limit, you will automatically enter the experience pool. You killed the evil force, old Zhang Xing next door, division level, and you gained 270,000 experience points and 2,215 military industry points. You triggered a random 100-fold increase and gained 32,100,000 experience and 34,000 military points. System prompt: due to your level limit, you will automatically enter the experience pool. You killed the evil force, the cunning Nancy Ninja, division level, and you gained 290,000 experience points and 2,265 military points. You trigger a random 100-fold increase. The remaining 3 monsters quickly arrived in front of Dong Lei after they were not attacked by Dong Lei. These 3 monsters know that Dong Lei is a traditional mage and are very crispy. As long as the situation is close combat, Dong Lei will be killed. 3 weapons, the iron bone fan, the golden snake whip, and the Jinfa family gun, hit Dong Lei's body. When the strong men around him saw such a scene, they all felt that Dong Lei was bound to die. This man wearing a mask is actually extremely powerful. What a pity. That's right. Facing the 6 monsters left to kill Matt, even if 3 monsters die, he is still dead. The traditional mage's weakness has been caught by the 6 monsters of killed Matt. We approached this masked man at close range, and he is going to die too. It's quite strong. It can kill 4 monsters among the monsters that kill Matt. I don't know what he got. But after I became a sparrow, I wanted to grab it. Seem. In the eyes of all the experts, Dong Lei's outcome is certain. Yes, there are 3 monsters, the sneaky Zhu Tsong, the explosive personality Han Baogu, and the timid Chuanfa. Their weapons, the iron bone fan, the golden snake whip, and the Golden Man's gun, attacked Dong Lei's body. Dong Lei stood motionless as his body was attacked by 3 weapons. Then, a scene appeared that made people frightened and dumbfounded. These weapons did not cause Dong Lei any harm at all. That's right. Dong Lei's head showed damage. No matter how strong the Vajra body defense is, there is also the defense of one's own equipment. These 3 monsters had no way of causing any harm to Dong Lei. Moreover, they are too satisfied. Mainly they are warriors, and killed Dong Lei instantly with a normal attack. Moreover, they did not use their skills. Dong Lei looked coldly at the sneaky Zhu Tsong, the explosive personality Han Baogu, and the 3 timid and fearful Chuanfa monsters. Are you going to die for me? Ha ha ha. This time, Dong Lei once again touched the evil mask and hex devil gun. During the 400% cooling, 8 terrifying rays of light were fired out again. Dong Lei is aiming this time. Everyone has at least 2 rays of light to attack. Boom. 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 -34W, -33W, -38W. In an instant, the sneaky Zhu Tsong, the explosive Han Baogu, and the fearful 3 monsters screamed and shot back. Then, following their brothers and sisters, they lay on the ground, unable to move. They are all dead and cannot die anymore. At this time, another voice came from the system. You killed the evil force, sneaking chicken and dog Zhu Tsong master level, and you gained 300,000 experience points and 2,354 military industry points. You triggered a random 100-fold increase and gained 36.5 million experience points and 35 million military value. System prompt: due to your level limit, you will automatically enter the experience pool. You killed the evil force, explosive personality Korean treasure, master level, and you gained 290,000 experience points and 2,655 military value. You triggered a random 100-fold increase and gained 3,265k experience and 350k military value. System prompt: due to your level limit, you will automatically enter the experience pool. That I will try my best to update more, and I will check it if I have any questions. Will change virtual. Today, we'll update a chapter. Please vote. window_tabula equals window_tabula_tabula.push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target_type, mix. Chapter 36: The 4 Sons of the Quanzhen Alliance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You killed the evil force, timid and fearful of all close attacks, master level, and you gained 270,000 experience points and 2,115 military points. You trigger a random 100-fold increase. At this moment, some people who were waiting and watching, and some who wanted to take action, were scared to death. They couldn't believe it, seeing such a scene. These master-level experts, Dong Lei simply killed them all. These are so frightened that even children will cry when they hear S name. They are the 7 monsters that kill Matt. Now, are all solved by this man wearing a mask. Moreover, the weapons of the 3 monsters that killed Matt among them all attacked the body of the masked man. Surprisingly, this masked man was not harmed in any way. So scary. So scary. This traditional mage. This man wearing a mask is a person who is frightened when he hears the news, and even children will cry when they hear his name. In an instant, most of the powerful men quickly left this place like smoke and disappeared without a trace. No one wants to die in this place like the 7 monsters that killed Matt. On the contrary, there were a few people from the evil camp who retreated far away, staring closely at Dong Lei. These people from the evil camp wanted to see if Dong Lei had a chance for them to take action. Dong Lei turned around and looked at the powerful men who had fled quickly, showing a faint smile. Let these people understand what life is like. Dong Lei first put his hands together and bowed to the statue of Sun Wukong squatting on the chair with his feet crouched on the chair, thanking him for the inheritance. Then, Dong Lei turned around and walked towards these evil camp personnel who were looking for opportunities. You guys. You probably don't know how precious life is. In an instant, these 4 powerful men from the evil camp immediately understood something, and their expressions changed drastically. In their minds, only one word came out, that escape. But just when they were about to escape, several rays of light shot out. In an instant, these 4 powerful men from the evil camp were all fixed on the ground by the skill level 2 runes. Due to the 400% cooldown, the 4 skills of Hex Devil Gun and are released at the same time. In the past, Dong Lei deliberately killed Matt and was attacked by 7 monsters, attracting the existence of these evil camps who thought there was still a little chance. Otherwise, how could he be so easily attacked by the 7 monsters that killed Matt? Now, I have killed 4 more powerful men from the evil camp, which is really great. Ah. No. Why can't I move? You, what did you do to me? It's best to let me go. Do you understand? Did I provoke you? You actually did such a thing to me. Can't we just stand here? Do you know who we are? These 4 people are 4 of the evil 7 sons of Kenshin. Dong Lei checked on the interface and found out the names of these 4 people. They are, Ma Yu, the thief, Tan Churue, the dirty boy, Lu Chuxian, the Changzi, and Qiu Chuji, the fool. The 4 bandits were still tough at first. Even if they couldn't move, they continued to say harsh words. Captain Ma Yu said angrily to Dong Lei in front of him. Is it amazing to wear a mask? Don't let us see your true face. We in the Kenshin Alliance will definitely make you walk around in pain. The dirty-looking Captain Tan Churue on the side also shouted with fierce eyes. You kid, why don't you let us go quickly? You know the stealing techniques of our Kenshin Alliance. Your little life is not safe. Captain Changzi Lu Chuxian, who had been trying to struggle but still couldn't escape his imprisonment, glared at Dong Lei angrily. I know your strength is pretty good. Does know that we are in the Kenshin Alliance? Does Wang Tsongyang know? That's right. Wang Tsongyang is our master. He controls the undead army. If you brat like you know this, let us go quickly. Chief Thief Qiu Chuji, the idiot, echoed. Dong Lei ignored the other people at all, walked away in front of the Chief Thief Qiu Chuji, and spoke. You are the idiot Qiu Chuji, the bandit chief, right? Huh. So what if I do? So what if I don't? Faced with Dong Lei's inquiry, the stupid Captain Qiu Chuji still had a sense of arrogance. Your apprentice Bu has a pirate named Yangbuki Yi Jiping, right? Talking about the past life, the things that happened between Yi Jiping, a Buki man, and the Dragon Saint, Dragon Girl, were used to describe things. I heard that the butcher Yi Jiping used a cloth to cover the eyes of the imprisoned Dragon Girl, and then, the player Yanghua hunted down Yi Jiping, the butcher, for several months. In the end, Yi Jiping, a butcher, was used to allow Long Nu to marry Yanghua. Moreover, Yanghua can become famous in one battle. The Dragon Girl can live a good life. Only then was he willing to let Yanghua kill him with Yi Jiping, the butch man. This incident was later known to Dragon Girl. The Dragon Girl was moved and guilty, so she jumped into the Broken Heart Cliff. How do you know? My apprentice's name. The field manager Qiu Chuji was stunned for a moment, and his face changed slightly. Yi Jiping, the butcher, had always been in their boxing alliance. He practiced leveling diligently and never made it out of the Kenshin League. Now, this young man wearing a mask actually found out. Hee, you all have to die anyway. But, with Yi Jiping, the butch man, I won't let him die so quickly. Okay, the 3-minute detention time is almost up. Let you be released as soon as possible. Later, Dong Lei picked up the Hex Devil gun and bombed the 4 members of the Quanzhen Alliance. Boom. 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 -35W, -36W, -40W, -34W. The sound of system prompts came to Dong Lei's ears. You killed the evil force, Dan Ichimayu, master level, and you gained 340,000 experience points and 380,000 military points. You triggered a random 100-fold increase and gained 3820W experience and 3899W military value. System prompt: due to your level limit, you will automatically enter the experience pool. You killed the evil force, Dirty Thief Tan Churue, master level, and you gain 270,000 experience points and 400,000 military points. You triggered a random 100-fold increase and gained 4015 W experience and 4540 W military value. System prompt: due to your level limit, you will automatically enter the experience pool. You killed the evil force, Chanzi Lu Chuxian, master level, and you gain 290,000 experience points and 430,000 military points. You trigger a random 100-fold increase. Some strong men who fled away turned around curiously after hearing the sound. I saw that the 4 powerful members of the Quanzhen alliance were actually killed by this man wearing a mask. In an instant, the speed of escape accelerated a lot. These strong men were talking while running. This 4th member of the Fist Alliance was actually killed in such an instant. It's scary. Fortunately, I ran fast. Otherwise, my life would have been in danger. Huan Rong is right, even the Gai Gang Chamber of Commerce dare not offend people. The 4 members of the Fist Alliance will die. Let's go. We are still communicating. If we catch up, we will all die. Where is he using the Thunder Flame Tiger mount? You're absolutely right. That mount can also whine. It's almost scary. There are still 1 or 2 chapters left, while I am typing furiously on the keyboard. Chapter 37: Heading to the City That Never Sleeps. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Instantly, the speed of these strong men's escape increased a lot. Dong Lei was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect that the military value of the Quanzhen alliance could be so much, as expected of Wang Tsongyang's disciple. At this time, a loud voice came from the system again, which made Dong Lei happy. Congratulations, the military value has exceeded 100 million. You have been promoted to a 1-diamond general. Dong Lei quickly opened his Legion information. Legion, official level, 1-diamond general, current special powers, point 1. Possess the right to accept the 1-diamond general task. 2. Possess the right to command the war, and the absolute right to plan. 3. Possess the army, with an upper limit of 80,000. 4. Killing NPC/players who are determined to be guilty of serious crimes will not be punished and obtain criminal value. The upper limit is 30,000 points, and the criminal value can be offset by gold coins if it exceeds. The promotion of official level is really great for Dong Lei. After killing the Quanzhen alliance, he was promoted from the corps commander to the general level. Even in the later stages of the game, it is very difficult to get the general level. Because the military value can only be obtained by doing military tasks or killing some evil camps or hostile forces, the military value is already very rare, and now it has reached such a level. It made Dong Lei even more surprised. After being promoted from the corps commander to the general level, Dong Lei has more powers. Now, he can accept some general level tasks. This is richer than the tasks of the corps commander. However, the difficulty is higher than that of the corps commander. The most important aspect is to have absolute command and planning rights. This is the most important thing for Dong Lei. As long as he chooses the battlefield, he can be the commander. If a war zone civil war is launched, he can submit a war application. At that time, when a meeting is held, as long as several generals agree, then, the war applied by the general can be approved. At that time, he can command the army and become the commander, go to attack other empires and start a war zone civil war. At this moment, the most important thing is to complete the SSS Legion Commander task first. After this task is completed, the heart and control of the entire Legion Commander can be grasped. It is also for Dong Lei to go to the war zone civil war later, so that the entire war zone can be unified and obtain key help. All these are later stories, or complete your SSS-level Legion Commander task first. Dong Lei walked out of the palace gate and summoned his mount 1 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger. As Dong Lei sat on the back of the 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger, the 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger started to move at the speed of a locomotive and headed towards Roya City. After a short 10 minutes, Dong Lei went to the gate of Luoya City and took back the 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger. He walked to a gatekeeper general, and there was a teleportation array next to the general standing. In each city, the teleportation array is very important. They are all guarded by soldiers. Behind and around the general are NPC soldiers stationed in the city. When Dong Lei came over, he showed his identity. which scared the general. He immediately greeted Dong Lei in various ways, and his body was extremely straight. You want to teleport to Never Sleeping City. As long as you go to the city, you can teleport to other cities in the Fenglei Empire. However, you need 2 teleportation shafts. Dong Lei didn't say much. Knowing this rule, he handed 2 teleportation shafts to the general. How dare the general drill the general's teleportation shaft, swinging his body wildly, and said, "How dare I take your teleportation shaft, general? No need for a teleportation shaft, no need. I will open the teleportation array for you right away. Besides, general, military missions do not require a teleportation shaft." Dong Lei was stunned for a moment, and then he was relieved. However, when he went to the Never Sleeping City, he still threw a lot of gold coins to the general. He forgot this. During the military mission, some gamers and NPCs need to go through multiple teleportation arrays. If they all need to collect teleportation shafts, some gamers and NPCs simply cannot afford it. One teleportation shaft requires 100,000 gold coins. Along with the scattered rays of light, Dong Lei's body fell down. In an instant, Dong Lei disappeared. The place where Dong Lei appeared again was the Never Sleeping City in the west of the Fenglei Empire. The Never Sleeping City is not a place for drinking and spending money. Instead, the sun in the sky here sets very slowly, while it is already dark in other cities, but this city that never sleeps is still bright, and it will take several hours before it gets dark. So, once it gets dark in the night of this city that never sleeps, various NPCs and players will have fun here, cooking like crazy, swinging and swaying to their heart's content. Passion is always short-lived, so it is particularly stimulating. It seems that this can also explain why this place is a place of debauchery. However, recently, the people in the city that never sleeps, as well as the game players who come here to play, have fled. After all, the town in Quanzhen, not far from the city that never sleeps, has become a paradise for the dead. NPCs are really afraid of turning into undeads, and gamers are afraid of their equipment being exploded. Now, the only people left in the never sleeping city are some gamers who followed Dong Lei and the troops brought by various legion leaders. As soon as Dong Lei arrived in the never sleeping city, his brothers and sisters looked at him. After all, a man wearing a mask and high-end equipment was too obvious. Brother Shifeng. Brother, you are finally here. Do you want to be worshipped by me? It is Brother Shifeng who has become my master. I feel that Shifeng's aura is so strong. So scary. Oh my God, wherever Brother Shifeng goes, I will follow. I heard that the undead are quite scary. Great. God Shifeng is finally here. Brothers, hurry up and keep up with God's footsteps. This is the first time to keep up with God. For this SSS mission, God Shifeng, what should you prepare? Will the rewards be very high? Seeing that so many players have gone to the never sleeping city, Dong Lei did not have time to answer them one by one. He nodded to them, without saying anything, and went to the military headquarters of the never sleeping city, accompanied by a large number of game players behind him. All of them were his brothers and sisters, who followed behind him. This is also his army. A few minutes later, Dong Lei went to the military headquarters of the never sleeping city and thought for a while. This time, the mission was to face the undead army. Generally speaking, the ordinary undead of the undead army, they were all of relatively low level, but their number was quite large, so, gamers must form their own small teams to continuously eliminate the undead. You can also get more experience and military value and other things. Thinking of this, Dong Lei went to the military mission window of the military headquarters. There was a male officer standing in this military mission window. After knowing Dong Lei's identity, he respected him very much. Dong Lei took the male officer's notice and began to edit it. After writing for a few minutes, he handed the notice to the male officer, and there were dozens of gold coins on the notice. The next chapter is quite funny, and it has written more than 500 words. Chapter 38. The kind that looks poor is also okay. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dong Lei's haul made the male officer stunned for a moment, and he knew what to say. Lord General, this, okay. I gave it to you. Just accept it. Dong Lei looked at the male officer and spoke without hesitation. The male officer immediately became happy, thanked Dong Lei quickly, and hurriedly put the gold coins into his pants with his hands. He also patted his pocket so that the gold coins would fall out. Seeing this, Dong Lei couldn't help but smile. Then, the male officer quickly sent the official order edited by Dong Lei. In Dong Lei's opinion, especially men, whether they ask others to do things or ask others to do things, they all need a little bit of meaning. Then, the work efficiency will be much faster. In reality, this is called human nature. In the game, worldly sophistication is more needed. Of course, many people understand this. He also often had conflicts with NPCs, which made it increasingly difficult for him to do things. Yi City announcement from Slaying Phone. This mission is not simple. Brothers and sisters in the army should also understand. Brothers and sisters in the army, please form your own teams. It is best for each team to bring a priest. It is very important for you. When the mission begins, please brothers and sisters in the army, please challenge the undead of too high a level. Please give priority to killing the undead that you can kill. It is very important for your rewards, experience, and military value. If you understand, chat in the regional chat channel and find out. In an instant, the game players in the regional chat channel were frantically scrolling to understand. Some responded directly and understood, while others just responded with various words. Clear. Of course I understand. You must understand what you understand. This is what my elder brother said. Do you understand? Little sister understands. Brother, I understand. I understand everything big brother said. Gradually, the regional chat channel began to receive barrage messages about wanting to be a priest. Is there a priest? Our team is missing a priest. Is there anyone in charge of the pastor? We need love and support, the kind with high power. We need one. Consume at high prices and recruit a great priest to come to us. Is there any good-looking girl pastor? The kind with Reba? If not, the kind with Kyanga will do. A lot of money to ask for a mother, a lot of money to ask for a son. See clearly. 1,000 dragon coins an hour. Urgent need. No mother, no girl, even a man. Of course, for Dong Lei, if his army kills a few more people, his reward will be generous. A large number of gamers are crazily asking for priests. They all quickly formed their own teams. At this time, Dong Lei entered the command room of the military headquarters. When he reached the door of the command room, he heard Quanzhen's voice. According to the investigation of the scout soldiers, the towns far away from the night city have all turned into cities of the undead. And the people in the town have all turned into undead. A large part of these undead souls seem to be heading towards us. The purpose of our trip is to eliminate these undead souls. In order to expand the undead, we must clear out the undead army as soon as possible. Dong Lei paused for a moment, and after Quanzhen finished speaking, he strode in. When Quanzhen saw Dong Lei, he was stunned for a moment, with a strange expression on his face. Then, Quanzhen immediately stood up, faced Dong Lei, put his palms on his chest, leaned forward slightly, and spoke. Lord General Slaughter Peak. You are here. The army commanders in front of Quanzhen also stood up after seeing Dong Lei. These legion commanders also put their palms on their chests, leaned forward slightly, and spoke loudly. Lord General Slaughter Peak. Among the NPC's internal Feng Lei Empire information, Dong Lei would naturally know about it when he met a diamond general. Therefore, all the legion commanders present knew that Dong Lei had been promoted to a first diamond general. Now, it's up to you, Quanzhen, to take command. After Dong Lei finished saying this, he walked to a seat and sat down. The person sitting next to him was naturally his attendant Daphne. Dong Lei stood under the table again, hooked his little finger, and this time directly held Daphne's palm. In an instant, Daphne blushed, her eyes were blurred, and she stared at Dong Lei, a little obsessed. This time, there were a total of 5 people who came to participate in the mission, including Quanzhen. In addition to Daifini and Quanzhen, the remaining 3 legion commanders are Zhou Batong and Li Macho. There is also a commander named Murong Fujuan. Although Quanzhen can still command the entire combat plan, however, Dong Lei could remove Quanzhen's battle plan at any time and replace him with commanding the battle. Dong Lei is a diamond warrior, and he holds the dominant position in terms of power, no matter in that empire. Your own status means that you can suppress those with lower status than you. This is a common feature between reality and games. After hearing what Dong Lei said, Quanzhen was a little excited and said, "General Shifeng, I will make this operation perfect." Don't worry, since Dong Lei allowed him to continue to command, for Quanzhen, as a dazzling new star of the empire, the right to command operations must be very important. Quanzhen was quite grateful to Dong Lei. Dong Lei did not snatch his command rights just because he met a diamond general. Dong Lei was quite helpless in his heart. If you, Quanzhen, command perfectly, you will become a fallen new star and become one of the dead spirits. Quanzhen recovered his color, pointed to the map in front of him, and continued to explain in detail to the Legion leaders. This time, there are 4 Legion commanders coming to Night City. Including me, there are 5 in total. Also, General Shifeng is here. But our mission this time is also very easy. Here, you lead the army to clear the undead in these areas first. Then, Quanzhen commanded the Legion commanders to clear some undead tasks in the outer areas. The tasks of each Legion commander were arranged. When it came to Dong Lei, Quanzhen dared to command Dong Lei to fight. The other Legion commanders also looked at Dong Lei, waiting for him to speak, so, Quanzhen said to Dong Lei politely, "General Shifeng, can you choose by yourself?" "Yes. I will command my own army and fight. You don't need to care about me." Dong Lei nodded and answered Quanzhen. Dong Lei wanted to act on his own when he arrived, and didn't want to be assigned anything. Quanzhen also understood the difference between the identities, and didn't dare to give Dong Lei too many instructions. Chapter 39 Secretly exclaiming, "What a pity." You are listening at novelfull.audio. Now, Dong Lei also answered the same question. Quanzhen did not dare to say anything more and continued to speak to the army commanders. Then, Legion commanders, please follow my instructions. The other Legion commanders stood up one after another and answered Quanzhen. In addition to Dong Lei sitting on the chair, he also secretly held Daphne's delicate hand. Daphne was embarrassed and her shy face made Zhou Baotong and Murong Fu look over, confused. Subsequently, other army commanders, including Quanzhen, left the command room of the Evernight City military headquarters to prepare for battle. Only Dong Lei and Daphne were left. Daphne's little hand was still held by Dong Lei. Daphne saw her hand held by Dong Lei like this. After the army commanders left, she lowered her head even more shyly. Seeing Daphne like this, Dong Lei almost lost control. But, this place doesn't seem to be a good place for cooking. Dong Lei, who swallowed a few water and endured the pain, slowly said to Daphne, "Daphne, I will go to your area first and help you clear out all the undead in this area." When Daphne heard this, she looked at Dong Lei with surprise in her eyes and said excitedly, "Really? Are you coming to my area to help me clear out the undead?" Dong Lei couldn't bear this. Looking at the beautiful Daphne, the corners of his mouth were too dry. It is said that women are made of water, and the corners of their mouths need to be moist. Even though Dong Lei was wearing a mask, his mouth was still exposed. You kissed Daphne on the face before looking back. Daphne closed her eyes, waiting for further development, but the kiss on the mouth was delayed. Moreover, Daphne was actually pulled by Dong Lei to stand up. Dong Lei looked embarrassed and said awkwardly, "Let's go. Let's fight." Daphne was pulled by Dong Lei like this. She didn't react at first and was almost pulled down. Looking at Dong Lei's boyish posture, Daphne was stunned for a moment, smiled, and let Dong Lei lead him away from the command room before letting go of his hand. However, when leaving the command room, Daphne looked at Dong Lei's back. Her lips were a little hungry. If Dong Lei hadn't made such a move, Daphne could have been kissed on the cheek, and her lips would have been able to fight back. Daphne secretly regrets. Daphne looked at Dong Lei's leaving figure, biting her lips, still a little unwilling. "It's all my fault that I'm not very brave." Soon, after Daphne gathered the soldiers, she issued the order. The entire army marched to the place arranged by Quanzhen's instructions to clear out the undead army. Dong Lei immediately led the players to follow Daphne's army, then go to the military task window first and change a self-published task. Recruit Legion brothers. The mission has been modified to set the conditions and goals for the second reward. After a while, The editor gave it to the male officer in front of him. The male officer quickly posted what Dong Lei had edited. Soon, all the players who participated in the mission received the news. System prompt: your mission, Recruit Legion Brothers, SSS, is about to be sent. Please assemble at the Nightless City Gate. Follow the Kill the Peak, go to the road to KS City far away from the Evernight City, and clear out the undead army. Every time you kill an undead, you will be rewarded with 20 military points. When the time comes, complete the SSS-level mission and receive random rewards. In an instant, all the game players began to get excited. Finally, start. For gamers, the military value of 20 points is quite a lot. There are also random rewards, and thinking about the previous random rewards makes them excited. Moreover, military industry value can be exchanged for a lot of equipment, knowledge and other things. Gamers, gather at the military department of the city that never sleeps. Moreover, they all began to discuss and talk to each other. The wait has finally come true today. The dream has finally come true. Brother, have you found the priest's sister? We reluctantly use men. In this game, there are still male priests. Ugh. We found a ant-level priest Niliang, enough for us and our entire team. The priest on our side should be a little colder. Wait until you scare him with the undead. That's it. Damn it. Damn it. If you die, you won't explode your equipment. You won't be a good man. Ask in a low voice, are you a priest? We are recruiting. Special move, big one. The price. Even for men. All game players are waiting for Dong Lei's appearance. This time, their target in the evil camp must be Guojin. Guojin is the dazzling new star of the empire, and the top management of Fenglai Empire will not let him go to the front line to fight too much. Just let Guojin sit in a city that never sleeps, which is relatively safe. However, if some legion commanders encounter danger or difficulty, Guojin will personally go there to support them. Only this decision made Guojin fall into the opponent's ambush. At this moment, Dong Lei is not in a hurry. He is also waiting for the powerful undead to appear. In fact, for Dong Lei, if Guojin becomes a person from the evil camp, he is giving Guojin a fatal blow. By then his rewards and ratings should be very high. That would be a lot of money. However, Dong Lei will not do this yet. If he could save Guojin, he would also find a way to save him. If he can't save him, then he won't save him. Only a fool would sacrifice himself to let Guojin live. The equipment he wears is very expensive. Guojin has nothing to do with him. In Dong Lei's opinion, he might as well save Daphne. After all, I have kissed others on the face, so I am responsible. This time when I went to KS City, I found that there was not only the presence of the undead army, there are also some people from various evil camps entrenched, or it can also be an army of undead, and it can be linked together. At Dong Lei's current level, he can't care about so many things. Now, in Dong Lei's opinion, it is enough to earn a little more military value, because gamers, add Dong Lei's legion. Dong Lei can also earn part of the military value of the undead they kill. Therefore, Dong Lei has long reminded them to die less. This time the mission is completed, for Dong Lei may be promoted to a few more levels. Don't think too much. Dong Lei is also ready. When Dong Lei walked to the military department, there were a large number of game players waiting for him to come. Now, everyone looked up at Dong Lei one after another, staring directly at Dong Lei with expectant and excited eyes. P.S. Today I went to deliver tofu and had to climb over a hill. I met a car passing me on the road. He even gave me the middle finger gesture. I drifted in various ways and finally surpassed him and reached the top of first. Everyone should know about it later. I was deducted 12 points because I was driving too fast. I was scolded not only by customers but also by my family. Don't let me drive. Please give me your recommendation votes and good reviews. If the amount exceeds a certain amount, I won't be able to open it. The driver's license has been revoked. Oh, everyone knows that when driving, the one with the middle finger will only be deducted 6 points. Mad. He is also witty. I am careless. Window, _ tabula equals window, _ tabula, _ tabula. Push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, Thumbnail, 300x 250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target underscore type, mix. Chapter 40 I'm not that kind of person. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I saw Dong Lei inspecting the crowd, scratching his head, and slowly took out something. In an instant, a series of system sounds rang in the ears of the game players. System prompt, you have obtained the additional bonus of Medal of Barbaric Strength, Legendary Level. You have gained an additional 150% magic/physical attack power. You gain an additional 350% movement speed. This thing is Dong Lei's Barbaric Power Medal, which has terrifying effect gains. The game players on the scene were stunned for a moment after hearing these two sounds, then, his face was filled with surprise and roars, as if Dong Lei had walked into the wolf's den. The regional chat channel is also being used crazily. Wow! What is this? I'm convinced. I'm totally convinced. I kneel down for you, little brother. This increases the magic/physical attack power by 1.5 times. The eternal god of killing peak. If this happens, the dead will have to call me grandpa. Ha ha ha. What's more? With this 3.5 times speed bonus, my bicycle becomes as fast as a sports car. Brother Nyobi of Killing Fong. To fight the undead now, I can run and fight at the same time. The undead may even catch up with me. Maid, I almost wanted a male priest. The great god of killing peaks. What a bull. Brother Shurfong. My forever brother. My little sister loves you. I didn't see a beautiful girl in the show, but I want to insult my brother Xiefeng. That's right. What this girl said made me a little curious. I want to see what you look like. If Dong Lei only adds buffs to 1 or 2, that's it. However, Dong Lei's Medal of Barbaric Strength allows all players on the field to receive additional effect bonuses. This makes all the game players in the game say that Shurfong is the absolute master. In their opinion, Shurfong is strong only if he is abnormal. Incomparable storage. This kind of gain effect, if replaced by other skills, may be a skill that can only be possessed by saints and above in later games. However, this Medal of Brutal Strength is even more abnormal than the saint's skills, that is, skills require cooling and time. However, there is no time limit in this additional bonus of the Barbaric Strength Medal. In other words, after Dong Lei used this Barbaric Power Medal, it gave them the beneficial effect, it is stored forever. In an instant, under the leadership of Dong Lei, the entire army of game players rushed towards the gate of Yi City. It was like a wisp of smoke, heading towards the direction where Daphne was heading. Because many gamers did not have mounts at the beginning, however, among their speed buffs, their speed is comparable to that of mounts, and they rush towards them quickly. The game players in the distance are joining Dong Lei's army, coming to Yi City to look for cooks, watching from a distance. There were also some members of the evil camp hiding in the dark, and they all saw Dong Lei's army when they were investigating outside Night City. They were stunned, unable to imagine that this scene would appear in front of them. The first thought of these gamers and evil camp members, that's it. Where's the mount? Afterwards, these game players and members of the evil camp began to curse. Mad. Where are these mounts? No mount can run that fast. Wow. Are you crazy? Is this the so-called undead? It can run faster than a mount. It seems that I need to go back and report to the Great that this Night City is so easy to attack. Is even faster than the mount. It's so scary. We came here to have fun and cook like crazy. Why are there such horses in Night City? They're awesome. What happened in Night City? Did we know about it? Mad. I want to cook, I want to go back to other big cities. Dong Lei drove down the 9-star Thunder Flame Tiger and led the game players to KS City soon. Daphne's army has also reached KS City. Not a few of the dead souls who came to Yi City from KS City were all killed by Daphne's army. This made Dong Lei secretly cry out that it was a pity. If he had known earlier, he would have asked Daphne to set off slowly. Everyone arrived at KS City, which was a small city in the western part of the Wind and Thunder Empire. there are not many residents living in KS City, about 300,000 at this moment. KS City has long been silent. Without the color of the past, Daphne also discovered Dong Lei's army. Her face showed joy, and she rode a black scale war horse to Dong Lei. If there were so many scenes, Daphne would just swoop into Dong Lei's arms. After all, with so many people watching, I still insist on my love. You're here. Kill the phone da. Daphne's voice was a little ambiguous, but Daphne didn't care about that. Well, when will you come over? Dong Lei felt more and more cute about Daphne, smiled and asked. We just arrived in KS City. You guys have arrived too, how come you are so fast? I didn't see you have any mounts. Except for you. Daphne was a little curious. Her army belonged to Zhou Baodong at the beginning. Under Guojin's control, he gave her a horse. Among the horses, of course there are soldiers and horses. These horses are the most common war horses of the Wind and Thunder Empire, black power horses, dark Lima, gold level 10. Level, gold level, effect, increase speed by 30%, mount introduction, an ordinary war horse mount from the Fonglei Empire, raised by a commander of the Zhou Baodong army. In terms of the price of this dark horse, it requires 200,000 gold coins. Moreover, it can be purchased casually. These black horses are raised by Zhou Baodong himself. He has his own horse farm. The black horses breed very quickly. Zhou Baodong has more horses than his soldiers. Some of the other armies also walked. He. They are good at walking, and they are faster than horses. Dong Lei laughed happily when he heard this and replied, Daphne's army and Dong Lei's army walked towards the inside of KS City. As the two armies fought, the battle deepened. The surrounding buildings seemed to be getting taller and taller, as if they wanted to cover the entire sky. Daphne's soldiers all spoke in silence, appearing extraordinarily quiet and calm. On the other hand, Dong Lei's troops are all gamers. Of course they are. Talking and laughing. Oops. Brother, your horse is wrong. Let me lend you a ride. Don't worry. I will grab it. Brother is that kind of person. Delivering tofu, I can't drive, I only have a bicycle. It's still the kind of scanning code. When passing by an intersection, an ant rushed towards me. I had already braked, and the ant's face changed when she saw this, and she changed from running to flying. Then, he fell in front of me, screamed wailing, grabbed the bicycle, said his leg was broken, and asked me for money. I want 2,000 yuan. How can I make so much money by selling tofu? Alone. I got off the bike with the tofu and ran away. It's also a shared bicycle. Is my car. Later, do you know? The ant chased after her with a shared bicycle. Does this leg look broken? As I said, I was running, typing on my phone while running, and my ant was about to catch up.